Hello and welcome to Empyrean Remesher version 1.4. I'm just gonna jump straight into everything. We're gonna take a look at remeshing a very simple mesh, just a simple poncho. First thing you want to do is make sure your add-on is installed, preferences, add-ons, and this top right corner button, install from disk, navigate to where you downloaded it, and then install from disk. Next, we want to split the Blender session in half. So we want to drag from the top left corner and it will snap in half for us. And we want to set the other screen to UV editor. Next, we want to point the mesh to Empyrean tab. So as soon as we point it to the mesh, it's going to lay out our grid and all of the settings that we need. Now this is a very simple mesh, it's just one UV island and it's not going to be deformed by bone weights, it's going to be deformed by physics engine. Well, it's going to be deformed by bone weights as well, but not as much as physics engine. So I want to talk about anchor vertices. So anchor vertices are corner points in the UV island which are very important to the shape of the UV island. So here we have a very sharp turn in the UV island. So we need to make sure that this vertex right here survives the remesher. So we select it, right click it, and mark it as an anchor. And then it will turn to purple, telling us this vertex is now anchored. Next, I'm just going to increase the subdivision amount to something high. 88 and 88. Yep, that's good enough for me. And then I can just go ahead and remesh. Alright, now that it has been remeshed, we can move on to the next step, which is a cleanup phase. So if you look around here, we have all these small triangles and n-gons that are not really needed, and they're costing us a vertex count, which is not good. So there is two ways for us to remesh the boundaries, or clean them up. And the first option is remeshing the boundaries by inserting a strip of faces along the seams. So if we mark this point right here as an anchor, it will become the starting point of our strip of faces. So this entire perimeter here is 0. It's encompassing the entire island. And we also want the same thing for this perimeter. So let's go ahead and insert these faces. Alright, and that did it. So let me go to the mesh. It inserted a strip of faces into the boundaries, and that can be used to texture things more easily. However, I much prefer to use the other option, which is collapsing the unwanted edges. So we're gonna reload the project and try that option instead. Okay, so for collapsing the edges, all you want is to set it to somewhere around 0.8 or 0.9 and just collapse the edges, and it's going to do a very good job at cleaning up the boundaries. And this option is, in my opinion, is better than the first option. So next we're going to take a look at another mesh, which will require us to make use of island networking, and will be a little bit more complicated. Alright, so we have this mesh here, which has multiple UV islands, and they also require UDIMs. So let's go ahead and remesh this poncho or cloak. So we're gonna need to make use of island networking for this. And the way you're gonna approach this is target your main UV island first. So I know for this mesh, island number 2, which is the backside right here, is the biggest one, and it connects to all the other UV islands in here. So that means we want island number 2 to connect to the rest of them, rather than 3 and 1 connecting to number 2. So this will be the main one. And as you can see, as soon as I tell it to connect to the other UV islands, it's going to create different lines here with different colors, and they are resembling the cross array casts into those other islands. So when I increase subdivision amounts on island number 2, it's going to mess with the other UV islands because they are all connected, and that's good. We want that. So before I do anything else, let's go ahead and mark our corner points as anchors so we don't lose the shape of the UV island. Cool. So I'm gonna put this to something like, I don't know, 88, and let's make sure we eyeball it so it becomes a square. And 77. That's good enough. So as you can see, it's casting into the other UV islands, and we want to basically match this grid right here, and we're gonna have to make use of the bounce settings. So for island number 1, that's good for the vertical. Now we want to cover this area. So this area we need to set this bounce settings so it matches it properly. So the end offset should be something like 0.5 properly, or 0.6. Nope. We want this line to match with this one right here. Yep, that's good enough. Now we want to eyeball it and make sure it's roughly the same size as the other lines, or other squares, I mean. Yep, that's good enough. Now we can move on to the other UV island, number 3. I guess. And we want to mess with the bounce settings. There. That aligns perfectly. So let's make it 7. Yep, that looks good. Should probably put this to 41 actually. 42 maybe? Yeah, 42 is better. Yeah, 7 is good enough. And now the seams will be aligned properly, so we can go ahead and remesh. Yep, there it is. And for this use case, we are going to collapse the boundaries instead. So we want the collapse threshold. You can set the collapse threshold for each UV island as you require. So for island number 3, we're gonna keep it small, something like 0.5. And island number 2, which is the main one, 0.7. And island number 2, let's see. Yeah, we will keep this small as well, 0.5. Now we can go ahead and collapse it. And that way it will get rid of the very small triangles and the n-gons. And that will save the vertices and also keep weight painting friendly and texturing friendly as well. However, if the threshold, so this was island 1, and I set the threshold 0.5, and you can see it missed some of these big n-gons. So you do have to collapse those manually if it missed it.